Hi guys, welcome to the podcast, Holdens Podcast Mental Health. If you'd like to give us a follow, then please click follow on our Instagram. Take me back to when you first thought there was an issue or a problem in your life.
Well, like you say, when we was at school, it was just a normal upbringing at first. And obviously, we always say that it's your surroundings that make you in a way, ain't it? Because But going back to when I was living with my dad and that, it was a good childhood. You know what I mean? Me and my brothers, we all had everything. Even though there was 3 lads, just a year between us and things like that, we had everything bought for us, things like that.
Okay.
And so when we was at school and that, I had a normal school upbringing as well. But things started to change. Like, I look back now from when I went to live with my mum.
Okay.
As much as I love my mum, and I don't like to talk bad of her, but things like that. Looking back now, that's where it come from, because that's when it started to change for me.
So was you at school all together with your brothers, like? Or,
yeah, that's what I mean.
Went through school?
But then that's another thing. We partied. My brothers stayed in the same school. I got kicked out of King Swinford School when I was with year 9, year 10. As soon as I went to live with my mum, like 6 months after I'd lived with my mum.
So what was you like? How did you find school? Was it like Could you sit down and like do what the teacher told you, or was it like?
To be fair, now I had a very short attention span as well.
Yeah.
Like if I was in it, or I was all in it, or not in it at all. It was one of them.
I can relate to that. To be fair, because I was exactly the same. Like I was pretty much on your level. Like sit down, do what you need to do as what you're told, and it was like, no, I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
Like I wanted to be doing what I shouldn't have been doing. So. I don't know if it was the same for you.
Well, yeah, sometimes to be fair, I used to like running around the hallways just to the school. Like, didn't want to be in class, and I'd just turn up at class sometimes, and then just be running around, just being a menace. And that. Me and one lad that was always playing up in that school. But like that's what I said is when it changed. I don't know what I think it was when obviously I got introduced to drugs when I went to my mum's.
So how old was you when you first took drugs? You reckon?
It was year 9, so what would it have been? 13, coming 13, 14, something like that. Yeah,
that's a young age to take any kind of narcotics, really, isn't it? Like so.
And you only think it's only a bit of cannabis back then.
Oh, so you were just smoking cannabis?
Yeah, well, it wasn't even that, because up there they didn't smoke it. It was called a bong.
Yeah, yeah.
So you'd be having it through a bong, and that you'd make these. It's funny to talk about in a way, because we'd always go and pinch each other's bongs, and that there's lads that annoyed them from, because you couldn't take them home, could you?
No, you
to your parents and things like that.
So what did you do after school? Like once you left school, what was your goals, or did you have any goals?
To be fair, it was just at first I wanted to be a mechanic and that. Yeah. So I was trying to go to college, but then again they couldn't find me. I was meant to do an apprenticeship. And because obviously they couldn't find me one, I was losing my way with that. Yeah. And but luckily it got me into go-kart mechanics instead.
Yeah. So did you enjoy that? Like?
Yeah, that was another thing. Like I said, if you love it, you're all in, ain't you? Like it's one of them. And that's what I was, because I was taking engines apart, rebuilding them. You're learning how they work, things like that. I'm one of them. I have to be like hands-on, whatever I'm doing, and that's how I learn as well.
I'm pretty much the same, John, to be honest.
And I didn't realise that till like a few years ago. That I was that's my learning technique. You've got different people learn different ways how to learn, don't they? Obviously, some people can watch, and they can pick it up from that. Other people, they need it spoke to them, told. Yeah. Or other people can just read instructions, and they can do it from the instructions. Yeah, I don't know about you, I have to read instructions about 6 times for it to sink in.
To be honest, I call read, mate.
That's probably why half my battle. I just sometimes make the words up as I go along.
Yeah, if it makes sense. When I was at school, it's like I struggled with reading and writing. I don't know about if you did, but like even now, it's like it's still a problem. But as I've got older, it's like I want to learn. Yeah. I want to change. Yeah. Like I don't know if it's the same for you, but since I've turned 30, like all I want to do now is progress
and learn
and do better. So I don't know.
I'm exactly the same. Yeah, because like I said, after once I obviously went through what I went through at school, and then obviously working and what I was doing, and things happened when my mum passed away and that, and this was around the 30 age. But obviously I went to jail, and obviously when I went there, instead of like just doing time, I used time, and obviously I'd done a barbering course, done loads of other different courses in there. Like it was just like I wanted to learn now. And I'm fed up of playing up everything all the time now, and just going out drinking and every weekend.
So When did you realise that, like, obviously, addiction and stuff like that was a problem? Like, how old do you reckon you was when you first realised that I need to change?
To be fair, I was in denial for a very, very long time. Everyone could it's always the people around you that notice it first and keep trying to tell you, like your loved ones and things like that. But because I was in denial for a very long time, I think it was about 28, 29 when I started to realise it was a problem. Because obviously that's when my mum and my nan passed away, and I didn't realise I was self-medicating so much just to block everything out.
So when you say self-medicating, what was you doing to self-medicate like?
Oh, it'd be just as soon as I come back from work, because obviously I've always been a grafter, so I've always worked, and it's like, what do they call them, like a working alcoholic or something, functioning alcoholic. That's what I turned into basically, because as soon as I got back, or even on the way back from work, I'd be getting a bottle of vodka, just half a Glen's. I'd get back, I'd be necking that with a Monster or something, and then before I know it, that leads to me wanting the party powder, and then I'd go and get some of that, and it was like near enough every other night.
Every other night, yeah. And obviously, work becomes unmanageable, doesn't it? Well, not just work, like
it's hard,
life in general.
Yeah.
Like, I can remember when I was the same, and like, when you got business to run or you got like a job to attend each day, it's hard to keep normal. It's hard to like wake up every morning and think, oh, I've got to go again.
Yeah.
Like, it's time to, I've got to pick my head up and go again. But then eventually, for me, it was like I had no more power or energy to keep trying to
get like, your head out
to deal with addiction, and like
it's horrible. I was that same with it's been like that for the past year now. It's been even harder as I'm getting older. I think sometimes just to like want to get up off. I think it's because your body, and with me, my body seems like it's breaking down on me now as well, getting injuries and everything, and at work.
Yeah, I think what it is, because we abused our body so much in the 20s, like partying, like most nights drinking.
Because you could do it then and get up and still graft on that.
It was an issue. Like, you'd wake up like straight away, get up, straight out the door, do your work, come back home. Then again, them little voices in the back of your head. Do it, Dan, do it, John. You know what I mean? It's like, it's a difficult thing to accomplish, like, and actually get grips of.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's the same for you, like, it's going through life, little things keep niggling away at you.
Yeah, there's always a reason for you to fall off the bridge, fall off the wagon.
If things in your life has obviously brought you into, like, things that you wish you never done.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, if you want to talk about whatever has come into your life and you wish you could change through actions of like drink, drugs, or anything like that.
Yeah, obviously I wouldn't have wanted to go to jail through obviously the drink and the drugs.
Yeah.
Because obviously I don't just the time, it was my family, and I look back now with like my kids, and they're how old now as well, which makes it even more harder. Yeah. I think that's what plays on my heart a lot now as well, even more as I've got older, that I've missed out on that.
Do you wish you could turn back the time? Like?
Oh yeah, definitely. I wish I could have got help, or could have been able to realise that I couldn't deal with my emotions, or talk to somebody about being able to deal with your emotions, because as a man, everyone used to tell to you like, oh, man up, things like this. So men don't talk, do they?
But obviously, how old was you reckon until you got professional help? Was the professional help before you went to jail?
No, that's what I mean. It was only when I was inside then that I started to get sorted out.
Do you think that like, you probably wouldn't have gone to jail if there was more help?
Yeah.
To help with addiction and
definitely,
drinking and just doing general fuck-ups, really?
Yeah, because I've tried this, you know, when you think you're going to fall off the wagon and you reach out for help, this is what I think is a big problem with it as well. Like the drugs and alcohol side of things, because I've found that Atlantic House and places like that, and they won't do nothing to help you unless you actually have fell off the wagon and you are drinking and abusing drugs again, which I think is a bit horrible for people that are in and just like on the verge of about to fall off and they just need that little help or someone to talk to.
I just don't think there's the right support out there for
100%.
Anyone who's got an issue, like an underlying mental health issue. I think it's virtually impossible to get diagnosed or talking to the right people.
Yeah.
Like even like talking to you now, it's like talking to the right person can totally change somebody's mindset. Like I don't know if you can relate in that way, but I've took medication like from pharmacies and stuff like that, and it's never done a thing.
Yeah.
But talking to the right people,
it's masking the problem, ain't it?
Yeah, but I think the best therapy, the best medication you can have is talking to someone who you can relate to.
That's it.
And like actually help each other, because
you have to let it go sometimes. You have to get it out there so you can learn to let it go then.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, you can't keep holding on to the past. Because there was a saying that we learnt off somebody, so it's like driving a car. It's like you've got a little rear view mirror for looking behind you, haven't you? So that's like in life. You should only every now and then have a little look behind you, just a little glimpse. That's all you need, because you've got a big window in front of you. That's the now and the future, and that's where you need to be concentrating on.
That's a great saying,
and that's when I've started taking on that, and I think that's helping.
I've never really thought of life like that, because I try not to look back too much.
Yeah, it's on, but I think it's reflective, brings it back.
When you keep looking back about all the stuff that you've been through,
yeah,
I think it's like it controls the way that you program your brain for the future.
Yeah,
and I think it's a lot more harder to be successful and work towards your goals and whatever if you keep thinking back. Well, I was like this, I was like that. Because them little voices and that subconscious,
your fear and that,
it all comes back to the surface.
Yeah, and it does hold you back then, yeah, because that's that fear of like, just taking that leap of faith and things like that sometimes.
So how did you get into jail? What happened for you to get into jail?
Well, I was like I said, I was drinking heavily, more or less every other night, taking drugs, and I'd left my partner at the time. It was a stupid thing that I'd done. And then was with this somebody else, and she wasn't right for me, obviously, because like I said, about being around the right people as well at the time. So obviously, but she didn't know me from Adam really, so I shouldn't have done what I'd done as well, because I've gone to somebody, I'm probably spoiling them as well with more baggage and crap that's going on as well.
Yeah.
But anyway, long story short is we was at a party, and I was off my head, and something happened to her. She said things happened to her differently. Yeah. So I've gone on a rage because I was in that stage where I didn't care about anything then, didn't care about life, what happened to me. Yeah. And basically I just tried to set the cars on fire on the drive. I was done for arson.
You can laugh about it now, but...
Well, that's how we deal with it, though, we have to.
What was good for your head at the time? Like, do you reckon you would have done it if you were sober, or...?
Definitely not. 100%. That's the thing about that powder and the alcohol. It just changes the person that you are. Because it is poison at the end of the day. You're poisoning your body.
Yeah, you am. Like,
that's all you do.
Like, when I was drinking heavily and taking drugs, it's like my brain was totally fried.
Yeah.
Like, voices and hallucinations and God knows, it was like real bad dark place. And like yourself, I've done stuff in my past under the influence of drugs and drink. And now I'm sober, it's like, what the hell was I doing?
Yeah.
Like, what was I doing? But it's mad how you can change your mind, like, over a period of time. Because the person that I was 3 years ago to the person that I am today, I'm unrecognisable. Like, I couldn't even, like, if my personality was a reflection of the way I was, I wouldn't even recognise myself now. I don't know if that's the same as you, like, going through like different patches in your life, like going to jail. And explain to me what it was like in jail.
Oh mate, this doesn't mean you have some dark places in there as well. Because just before I was doing that, I'd started self-harming as well. So, and then going in a place like that as well and being locked up like that, it started even more. Then I was just because you went in jail, and obviously I didn't get rid of my addiction because I went in jail. I still had how much money in my bank, and I was transferring my money into me. Yeah. And you could get drugs and whatever easier in jail. I mean, you have to go down the road or meet somebody when you're outside. I remember when you're in there, I'll go over the landing, I'll go and knock on so-and-so's pad, or I'll go behind there and go knock on so-and-so's pad.
So do you think that, like, if there was more support on the outside, do you think that people would offend and go to jail if
No, I think that's what they should have helped me with at first, because even probation said They didn't want me to go to jail. They was wanting me more to get the help.
Yeah.
But obviously the systems, they're not bothered about getting no help. I'm just happy to just slam you behind
doors and just lock away
the judge didn't even take no notice of any of the character references. I had 15 great character references. He read one and he went, this is not you, and don't care what these say, and he dismissed them straight away. So he didn't even like judge. I know the crime was really bad. I do apologise for that. I've done that. You reach out to the victim of your crime when you're inside, and you even want to meet them to apologise and things like that. Yeah. Or you write them a letter, but obviously I understand they didn't want to meet me. So I write them a letter of apology and things like that.
That's a good thing that you
Another thing, like you said, you've got to let exactly. You've got to let things go. Like, it's just, I've done what I've done. I'm sorry, I can't take it back now. I just hope that we can all move forward from things like this.
Hopefully that you can. Well, it's clear that you have moved forward. Yeah. It's clear that you are doing well with your life, and otherwise you won't be talking to me now. Like, you know what I mean. So you should give yourself a tap on the back. But explain to me what was. When you was in jail, how long was you in jail until you actually got to speak to somebody face to face about the way you felt? Like a professional?
Professional? Well, at first, like I said, I was still in denial. So the first year I was just floating through the system sort of thing. Like, didn't really care, didn't want to be where I was. And another thing, when you tried that spice in there, that was the worst thing I ever done. Yeah. Because me and my pad mate woke up both black eyes the one morning, didn't even know that we'd had a fight with each other in there. And like, from then I was just like, nah, can't be touching that stuff.
That's what I mean. But do you reckon, like I say, it's all about having the right support? Like, if you'd have had the right support with your addiction and the right people to talk to before you went to jail, you wouldn't have probably never tried spice. No. You wouldn't have never carried on probably self-harming or whatever. So that's what I'm trying to say. Is the system that we live in, like, once you get into trouble, you're treated like I think you're treated like an animal. Basically,
yeah, they just don't care about you. Then they think that's it. You're victimised for like the past things that you've done. Yeah. You can never move. A lot of like you say, society don't really let you move forward sometimes. That's why you just have to really learn to let go yourself and be better with yourself. As soon as you can learn to love yourself more, then that's another good thing as well. That helps you on your journey, I've found.
Yeah, it's very important that you do love yourself, but obviously, if you, like you say, once you get to that certain stage in your life with drink and drugs.
Yeah, because that, like you said, it messes with the chemical imbalances in your brain.
It's impossible
and
to
come out. And you could. Suicidal all the time. I always said this. I'd never been so suicidal when I was on drink and drugs as much as I was back then. But like you say, we now, like, because obviously you don't do that, the drink and that powder. I mean, your brain's so different. When you're going through something bad, you like you normally self-medicate. You can sort of stop yourself now. Instead of when you was in that vicious loop, when you keep drinking.
It's horrible.
And then you do have something bad and you drink even more then. So
it's like addiction. It's
a constant battle.
Control of life.
Yeah, we're always going to be an addict, and as soon as we learn to accept that, that's another battle as well in its own. Because sometimes you think you've got an handle on things. Like, I'd done so well, hadn't I? And then I went on my holiday.
Yeah, but we're more, at the end of the day, it's like, even though you did have a little blip on your holiday, we're more human. We've still got emotions. We still have to deal with the demons, the little voice, like the little obsessions, like even walking past a pub.
I know,
and it's like, it's triggers, like everything's a trigger. So
the sun's out so good and all that.
Oh mate, the sun's been out all day today, like, and I've been on a massive bike ride this morning.
Yeah, that's good
because once I've exercised, I've come back, I've had a Sunday dinner.
That's key.
And then now it's like, it's important that you structure your days. Yeah. Like, especially if you've got like an overactive mind like me and you.
Definitely. Do you know what I mean? You do need structure. I always said that when I'm not at work, that's the worst thing ever for me.
The worst thing you can do is wake up on the morning and not have a plan.
Nothing to do, yeah.
Because I guarantee you, if you ain't got a plan for that day, that little voice in your head will jump on your back, get you in an headlock and control you all day, if you let it.
He won't leave you alone, yeah.
But I think it's like, it's a choice, innit? At the end of the day,
we all have choices, that's it. I always said that with life. We am where we am because of our own choices, And like that's another thing we have to accept. It's all about trying to accept things now and
you got to
trying to progress through it, the battles and
you
like,
have
your
got to
demons.
progress. But obviously, take me back to when you was in jail and you said you took spice and you woke up black eyes. Like, how?
Just because we just smoked it, haven't we? We was just smoking it because what happened was we had some lad come up to us. He went, I'll send some sheets to your pad through this Rule 39 thing that you could do. And basically your mail would come straight to your pad door without the officers having to look through it. And obviously that's how they was getting them in. They was getting a solicitor to send them in. Basically a duddy solicitor. And you get how many sheets, because they used to spray it on the sheets then, on the paper, and that's how they was getting it in.
I couldn't, honestly,
but that's what I mean, it's how bad it is. And you're ripping paper up to put in a Rizla and smoke paper just because it's soaked in spice. I'm like, how pathetic is that? But that's what it was like, and you just...
That's what I think.
And you just go into another place, you don't even know where you are, blackout. Like, there's people that are dying in there off it, mamba fits and everything.
And what's the outlet inside that you get?
They don't give you no help really, do they? All they'll do is they'll lock you behind your cell door, or they'll put you on a basic wing.
So you've got no privileges?
No privileges, yeah. The only time you're going to get help is when you really have to start begging for it yourself, like you said. And
or like
start self-harming and things like that, yeah. Because that's what I had to do the once, because I kept telling them I needed to be on my own. I said I can't deal with it, because when I was trying to get off the drugs myself, they kept putting me in with pad mates that smoke drugs. And I kept telling the officers, I'm just like, look, I can't have him in here when I'm trying to stay clean. And I went to these smoking spice and everything around me and everything stinking the pad out. And having people coming in and out and that, looking for canteen and stuff like that, making it look like I'm fucking drug dealing and that.
And obviously at the time, that's your home, innit?
Exactly, yeah, that's my little safe place, and I just don't want people in there. Because I even had one pad mate that he had some people, let people brew hooch. He didn't know that it was brewing there until it exploded in the night.
What, and you was in there?
Yeah, I was on top bunk and he was on bottom bunk, and I heard something explode. And I woke up and all of a sudden I smelt it. I went, I smell alcohol. Jumped off I was like, grabbed him, went, dickhead. I went, get that up now, because if the officers smelt that in the morning, we'd have been, I'd have been on basic, because the blame both of you, even if it's only the one, you always get done as a pair. There's no getting out of it, you know what I mean? So you've got to try and have someone that's on the same wavelength as you in there.
Is it bad in there, like?
It's good and it's bad. You get some experiences from it, but I wouldn't want to go back there, because you just lose so much of your time.
So if you had to advise somebody now, like, what advice would you give to somebody who is struggling with the mental health? And
I would just seriously, try and seek help. Firstly, stay off the drugs and alcohol, because that'll be a big help to start off with. And then if you're still feeling bad and having these mad thoughts, then definitely you need to be seeking help straight away. Or, like you say, we need to start talking, have somewhere we can talk to. Because we can't talk to our partners, because obviously we don't want to be less of a man and sort of thing, and open up to them and that.
That's another thing, isn't it? Like you say, if you've got a family and you're struggling with
you don't want to let them down, do you, as well?
You've got a big responsibility. You ain't just got the responsibility of yourself.
For yourself, yeah. I've got a family to bring
up. After your family.
That's why I've always carried on grafting and pushing through, and it's just been hard.
That's what I mean. Like, who's there to like pat us on the back? And you know, when we're doing well, like, and it's like, I don't know about you, but if I'm doing something and I know that I'm doing well, I don't know about you, but it's nice sometimes for somebody just to pull an arm around you and say, oh man, Dan, I'm really proud of you, or John, I'm really proud of you. Like, it's like, we're more, because I'm quite an affectionate person and a loving person anyway, and I know the way that I am, it's like, if I could see somebody doing well, I'll always praise them up. Yeah. And I think that's one thing that not many people do with each other. Not just family, just friends.
Just anyone. In general,
like, even like, it costs nothing to like put your arm around your mate and say, fuck me, I'm really proud of what you've been doing, like, because your mate, you don't know what he's going through.
It's right.
You know what I mean? It's like, that arm round him, he could be having the worst fucking time of his life, but that single praise can bring him out of a bad place. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, I think mental health is, at the moment, and say at the moment, it's always been an issue, but at the moment it's really coming to the surface where
we do need a lot of help. There needs to be more done for the men, really, in a way.
Well,
for everybody, yeah, really, but like obviously I could just say
it's more so men more
prone not to seek the help.
No, because we're not ashamed. It's like it's ego, I think.
Ego
sometimes.
And persona.
No, I mean, it's ego and persona. It's like if you have got an issue,
a failure, do you? You don't want to be known as a failure.
Oh no, you don't want people like talking about you. But I think
I'm past that now as well.
I think people talk about you more when you're
in the back, when you're at the bottom anyway.
When you're at the bottom, mate.
Yeah, they don't talk about you when you're doing well.
No, when you're doing well, and there's nobody there, they're just waiting for you to fail again.
Yeah.
But when you fell and you're on your arse, mate, you know them talk of the fucking town. You know what I mean? Everyone's only talks about people when they're up to nothing, what they shouldn't be doing.
Yeah, or have you heard about so-and-so?
Yeah,
you heard about so-and-so?
That's what I mean. It's like it's a shit way to be, really, but that's just the way that people have got mentality.
Yeah.
Like,
I think that's why I've cut a lot of people out of my life in a way. Like, we've got a very small circle now just to try and help me with my addiction and my mental health.
So do you think that's helped?
It has helped a little bit, because obviously a lot of the time the people are more what I used to do drugs with as well, and that, so I have to try and stay away from them.
Do you find that cutting them people out your life has made you feel a bit more lonely?
It can do, yeah. It can get really lonely, like I said, because I got really no one to talk to. Then, like, I've got a couple of mates, and then the more work people now that I know, like, and so, you know, when
is
you
that
want to
like a new circle of friends, though, you reckon, or
a little bit, yeah. Like, it's just more like work colleagues, so, but I'm sort of getting like mates, but it's like.
But that's the same. I can relate in that way, because over the last 12, 18 months. I've cut a lot of people out of my life as well.
Yeah.
And it was coming to a stage where I was fighting my addiction, and then also I was keeping myself company.
Yeah.
But I think as time goes forward, it's like you do get more comfortable with yourself. And I think people who are struggling need to realise that just because you're struggling now, in 4 weeks' time, 2 weeks' time, it can change. Like your mental state can change and improve massively.
Just what you say, by changing a few things in your lifestyle and that, like habits. You've got to start changing habits and circles and that. But
as you get older, like you say, people get families and do other things and
grow
move
apart
away,
as well.
Grow apart, and then I've felt lonely in the past 6 months, because them people who I used to associate with, I've cut them off.
Yeah.
But as an advantage, it's because I ain't sitting in somebody's kitchen till 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, chatting absolute garbage, spending £300-400 a night on what?
For nothing. Yeah, just killing yourself off, basically, killing brain cells.
You even said to me a couple of weeks, well, say about 4 weeks ago when I cut your hair, you said, it's amazing how much money I've got now since I've stopped doing the session and drinking. Yeah. And like, you've took your family away, and you created some real good memories. And do you reckon you would have
got another one as well in September?
Do you reckon you would have been able to do that?
No, because I've never been abroad. I've never been abroad. Never had a passport till like this year. Was
that the first time you've been away?
First time I've been I flew on a plane.
That's good, though, isn't it?
I know. So I mean, loved it. To be fair, I let my kids go abroad and everything. Like, they've all been abroad. They've all got passports before me. Because this idiot had just stayed, because I need to carry on working, feed my addiction, and pay for their lifestyles as well.
But now you can create memories with your kids and that.
Yeah, it's great. It still takes a lot of the pressure off as well. Obviously, my partner helps as well, loads. But obviously, you try not to take too much off them, don't you? You'll try and take it on your own shoulders all the time.
It's the alpha in us, isn't it, bro? At the end of the day, all it is, it's like real men being real men.
Yeah.
And I think we're coming into a world where the real men are fading.
Very much.
Just because of the way society, especially in England, not in every country, like more so in England, that you get taught and you're not allowed to say this, you ain't allowed to say that, you can do this.
Yeah.
And what it's doing is moulding men into more feminised men. So then people become weak.
Yeah.
Like, they want a weak society because they'll have more control.
Yeah.
Like, the more control that the society have got on you, the weaker the man is. Where's the power?
I know.
You know what I mean?
That's why they try and silence people like Andrew Tate and people like
That's what I mean, bro. It's like we're living in a world now where we ain't allowed to speak what we're meant to be speaking.
Yeah.
Or we ain't allowed to be doing what we're meant to be doing. We're told a pack of lies. We're always told lies.
Yeah.
Like, you'll watch the news and everything's a lie.
I don't watch the news now because that's it. I'm fed up of hearing the crap all the time.
It's like we live in a world where we ain't allowed to speak the truth.
Yeah.
Them even turning us into liars, bro. You know what I mean? Like, the society and turning us into liars. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's when men are getting more mentally weak, bro, because they think, oh, I'll stay at home and, like, wash up and do, like, stuff that they shouldn't be doing.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that they shouldn't be cleaning up. Like, a man is meant to graft. Like, we're meant to be out there looking for our future.
Well, that's what you do.
You know what I mean?
Like primal times, eh? When obviously you'd be out doing hunter-gathering and that. That's what it was, hunter-gatherers.
Bro, and, like, them taking our, like, the men out the men.
Yeah.
And I think that's why men are struggling so much.
And that's why marriages fail all the time as well.
Yeah. And, like, I think, like, people are more prone to drink and take drugs if they're unhappy at home.
Yeah, but men are more likely to stay in an unhappy relationship, and they'll do that, turn to drink and drugs, because a majority of men won't initiate divorce. I don't know the specific numbers, but it's always more women that will initiate divorce.
Yeah, like,
and that's why a man will stay and he'll just drink instead and just ruin himself.
Yeah, we'll hide it, like. Yeah. Because for a man, it's harder for rejection, I think. Like,
yeah, we don't want to be rejected,
we don't want to be rejected, do we? So, like, it shatters our ego. So if we do get rejected, it's like, oh, what do I do here? And we don't know how to control it. And it's like, boof, 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 drink, 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 sniff, 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 fag, fag, fag.
And yeah, because that makes you feel good, though. But like, you talk to people you'd never talk to as well. I think that's always funny.
It's like,
or message people you shouldn't be messaging. Why am I doing that? When you come round, you're like, oh crap, well, who was I talking to?
Yeah, when you come round, it's like, it just shows that you're craving attention.
Yeah.
Because if you am craving attention in that way, it means that you are happy.
Yeah.
You are happy at home. Like, I know plenty of people that will stay with the woman just because of the uproar it's going to cause.
Yeah, well, being able to see the kids and things like that.
That's what it is. But then
some use it as a weapon, don't
they? In the long run, you're just damaging yourself and the kids, I think. You know, when you stay together in a relationship sometimes.
Yeah. Because it's an unhappy environment, as well. If you should know that as well, if you're seeing that and it starts to affect your kids, then obviously you've got to do something about it. Either get the help or just split up. Yeah.
How long did you do in jail then, John?
I done 3.5 years though.
Did you?
So I mean, and it was the horrible bit as well because I had a little young lad who was 2, so I missed a lot of that. And then I had the other 2 like that was in the teens, so I missed all the teens. So then I've come out and then left school now and that. So I missed a lot of. Well, luckily I just got out as the oldest was leaving school. And then the other one more far behind.
Excuse me. What was your mental health like when you come out of jail? Do you reckon you was in a better place than when you entered?
Yeah, I was better, like I said. Look, when I started to do that self-harming, like getting the attention of the officers and that more to get me out of pad, mate. Got me a single cell status then, so I had my single cell. And obviously, eventually I went over to, could have a drug unit, a drug wing or whatever it was. And that's one of the safest places to stay if you want to stay away from drugs because they can't get nothing over there. So you just went over there and obviously they help you. You do programs over there. Don't get me wrong, it's not the best. But at least it was a start. Like there was some that really cared, but then obviously you get some that
What was the programs?
There was like just mental health programs. What's that one that I'd done?
Was it AA in there, like alcohol?
They'd done the AA in there, yeah. So I sat some of them meetings, and obviously them wasn't too bad doing that, listening to some of them, because a lot of them was on the crack as well. So obviously that's where it gets to afterwards, don't it? Yeah, and you hear some of their stories, the things that they've done for crack. And
that's what I mean. That's why sometimes speaking out, you're as bad as what you think.
I know, yeah.
Not saying that's
a good thing, yeah. Well, no, yeah, but yeah, there is always someone worse than you or worse off.
Yeah, there's always someone
so
down the line.
You shouldn't beat yourself down all the time, yeah.
I think, and like, I used to go to AA, Like, and that's what probably helped me. Like, when I hit rock bottom, like drinking, drugs, whatever, AA was the first thing that helped me.
Yeah.
Like, going to the meetings and...
That's the first time I talked in a group as well when I went to them.
I'd never spoke before AA or NA, Narcotics Anonymous. It's like, I never really spoke to anybody who was in my shoes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, we everything we're more doing it on our own, don't we?
So I used to lock myself away and never speak to nobody.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm weird here. Is it just I'm the only person in the world that is doing this?
Yeah, because I'd stay in the house on my own sometimes and do it, so there won't be nobody else that would know, like friends and that. It'd just be like the missus or something.
It's because you're uncomfortable, that's why. Like, you know what I mean? It's like...
And she's anti-drug, bless her. And here's me being an idiot.
It's not always a bad thing, is it? But obviously, like, it makes you antisocial.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but I'm sociable.
Yeah,
I love talking to people. You know what I mean? Like, if I go out, like, it's like I'll speak to anybody, anywhere, anytime. But when I was drinking and sniffing, I don't know about yourself, but I wouldn't even talk to myself.
Nah, you go
away. Well, you do talk to yourself in your own head, but...
Oh, you're talking on your phone, and it's just like, but then you won't talk to someone face to face. You're just like, what sort of weirdo am I?
That's what it does, but then it makes you think, I'm weird. And I think that's what makes you go towards the suicidal thoughts.
Yeah.
Because when you're sitting there and you're lost, and you don't know what to do with yourself,
everything's on top of you.
You've tried every avenue, and you've been to the doctors, and all they do is put you on medication, even though you don't need the medication.
Yeah, so I don't do the doctors. That's the problem half the time. Sometimes as well, I don't want to be on medication. I want to talk to somebody. That's what I need.
I think that is what it's all about. Isn't it? Like, it's a massive money-making scheme. Like, you go to the doctors, and they put you on medication, and then 6 months down the line, they up your dose, and then they change your medication. It's like, that's another vicious circle to be in, I think.
Yeah, I don't think it ever proper cures. Just like you say, just masks it again. You're better off just talking, like you said, just need to get it off your chest now.
You do? Like, that's what I think talking's the best way you can deal with a problem.
Yeah, you just need to find that one person that you cannot start to open up to. And then, believe it or not, it just starts to flow then. Yeah, once your story's out there and you've accepted it and a few people have heard it, it gets better and easier, don't it?
Yeah, once you get talking to somebody, but obviously, my advice to anyone who is going through a bad time is to, I don't know, find out where your local AA is, or...
Yeah.
Because that is the starting point.
There is loads around now as well, ain't there? That is better.
Yeah, like, I think that is the starting point to, like, realising that there is an issue there, because that's what it was for me.
Yeah,
like, sitting in a room,
always battling denial.
Hello, my name's Dan and I'm an alcoholic. At the start, I walked in, I ain't an alcoholic.
Yeah, you never think.
No, I mean, I
even the bingers, there's an alcoholic though, are they?
I ain't an alcoholic. I don't, like, what's the matter? And then you'd speak to people and it's like, I'm worse than them.
Yeah.
But then it's like you're reflecting off them, because it's like, I never thought I was that bad until it's all out in the open.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But then it all up until then that I could change. Like, I don't know, the same with you.
Yeah, that's like you said, accepting everything then. Once I spoke to it, like that AA, I think that was the first step for me as well, really. And it's one lad that I've always spoke to after that as well, and he's gone back inside as well, which I'm wounded for him, like. But
what was it? He, like, your sponsor kind of thing?
Well, sponsor, but obviously he was mad because his name was John as well, like me, and he was a plasterer as well, but he was from Sheffield.
Was he?
Yeah, but he was a really sound lad. It's like sometimes you take him under your wing and that's like... Yeah,
what, was you helping him or was he helping you?
I think
was just helping
both,
each other?
Yeah, just both really.
I think that's the good thing about meeting like-minded people who I'm on the road to recovery.
Yeah.
There's no point meeting someone who's still... If you the person like I used to be, or addiction and whatever, the last thing you need to be is with someone who's still taking drugs and drink.
Yeah, well, definitely.
We'd be easily led. Like,
easy, yeah. Why put yourself in there? That's a trigger. Why put yourself in that situation? That's another thing you have to try and learn.
Yeah, you have to learn that. Like,
don't put yourself in situations.
It's a choice, innit? Like, you know what I mean? You can either eat food at home with your missus, or you can go to the pub with God knows who and end up out till all night.
It's stupid o'clock.
You know what I mean? And then it's like you live your life in regret then, I think.
Oh yeah, constantly. Always look. That's again when it starts happening to you, keep looking back all the time then.
Yeah, it's like,
where am I going in my life?
not so long back, like, I had a mate pass, like, through suicide.
Yeah,
through
horrible,
drugs.
Yeah.
Like, drugs, drink, in and out of rehab. Couldn't take no more. But
Yeah.
I don't think he had the right people around him. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It messes your head up, doesn't it?
Oh yeah. That's like I had a lad, a good mate. He used to be a good mate. But obviously, when you get to jail, you lose them people again, don't you?
Yeah.
And then, but obviously, like we say about, he passed away after the football, after the final.
Oh, just recently?
Just recently, yeah. And he was in a constant battle himself as well over the years. And I think that's why I kept saying I was going to come and see you, but I couldn't come and see him because I was fighting my own battles. And he's fighting because why he's fighting.
When did you find that? Like, straight away?
More or less straight away. Another good mate of mine who I work with a lot, he found me. Obviously found him and that, and it's a shame because it shouldn't have happened in a way. Sometimes if you'd have had that help, if you'd have stayed there, it's just mental health. Like, but that's again men. I think he was like me. We was just stubborn. We didn't want to talk at first.
Yeah.
But I just think he was still like at the lower stage to
How
where
old was he?
Well, he's 36, 37.
That's what I mean. He's like,
it's just no age, is it?
It's happening to people more so young, like especially men in their early 30s. It's like, it does get tough when you get to 30.
Yeah.
Because
you feel like your life's over, don't you, when you get to 30s, man?
We're talking like our life is over, but your perspective of life changes, doesn't it?
I think that, exactly that, yeah. You just start to humble you more. Like I've started just to appreciate, I've always wanted more, but now that I've started to appreciate the things that I've got and start focusing on my more family things and things like that.
Do you reckon that making you more successful by not focusing on more?
Yeah.
Do you reckon, like, not by focusing on more, do you reckon that's helping you by just living an happy life?
Yeah, in a way, like you say, because you can live, all it is just live to your means. Like, I'm always thankful I've got my health still, in a way, you know what I mean? I haven't been to the doctor and had no checkup, so I don't know what's happening with me, but at the moment, because I'm at the gym...
We have got defibrillator, yeah. Don't ask for mouth.
But yeah, no, like I said, it's like, since I've been getting better, life is better now.
How long have you, like, obviously you had that little blip when you went on holiday, but all in all, how long was you off the drink? Like,
well, I'd only done a few months, and like I said, mine was just like an on and off journey. Mine's been, but for solid, like, it was 3 months before my holiday, and then I was like, but now I know there's a problem, I start to be able to deal with it a lot more better.
Do you think that doing them 3 months made you realise a lot?
Oh yeah, and because I lost loads of weight as well, I started feeling better again. As soon it's all that mental health thing. As soon as I start feeling good about myself again, my focus and drive changes again now. And that's why it's just it only takes that one blip though sometimes to some people and then back off it again. But I always say it's the way that you get bounced back again.
Yeah, it's always, if you don't bounce back, then it's like, there is a serious issue then, isn't there?
Oh, what's the way? Because one's, I forget the words, so I'm even going to carry on with that.
We should have concentrated more at school.
I know, yeah. That's the thing with our mental health. My concentration just went boom.
That's the trouble with, like, I don't know if ADHD, like...
Yeah, I'm meant to be diagnosed with that, adult ADHD, but I don't go to half the appointments. But they said that's a common thing though as well. If you've got ADHD, you don't like going to appointments.
Yeah, but ADHD is a massive thing in life. Like, there's a lot of people...
Too spontaneous all the time as well.
There's a lot of people out there that have got ADHD and don't know they've got it. Yeah. And it controls the way you am as a person. Yeah. You know what I mean?
I've had
impulsive, like...
That's it, impulsive things, like even impulsive buying and things like this.
Yeah, like it's all an addiction, innit?
Yeah.
At the end of the day, like buying something on... I think that's another... I'm the same sometimes, like I can be bored at night. Yeah. I'm scrolling through... Have you seen that new thing on that you can look on the internet, that Timu?
Oh, Timu, yeah.
Timu.
I've had a few things off there.
Mate, I'm buying everything. You know what I mean? Toothbrushes and everything. I've got 25 toothbrushes. It's like, Jesus Christ, I've only got 5 teeth.
Don't need all them.
But yeah, going back to the mental health side of it, with the ADHD, it's like, it's just overthinking stuff, and like procrastination is another one.
Yeah.
Like you get something in your head and you'll think about it that much.
Oh, I hate that. That does my head.
And then
I
it's like,
I call it living in my own head. I don't like being in there.
It's like, yeah, but it's like you get this thought, or you want to do something, like smallest thing, like go to the gym.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And because you've been busy all day at work, when you finish work, that little voice pops out. Then it's like, just go home and have a cake. You know what I mean? It's like either go to the gym or go home and have a cake.
Yeah.
And sometimes the cake is the better option.
Yeah.
But is it? Because
I love going to the gym because it does help with your mental health, though, don't you? Know, like you say, in them days, if you don't want to go, when you do go, when you're walking out, you feel the best.
yeah,
I feel a lot better then than when I walked in. 100%.
I think the gym is massive for mental health. Like getting up on a morning, getting out the house, going to the gym, then going to do your day's graft. You can't get no better really, because then you got your nights to yourself.
Yeah, you're set up.
You know what I mean?
I'd said that. I've always been mixing mine round. Sometimes I go in the morning, sometimes I go at night. But like you said, if you're coming back from work and if it's a long drive,
Yeah.
that thought's going, just go straight home first.
When I was young, like early 20s, I could
straight there, mate, after work.
Mate, I could be out all day,
Yeah.
all night.
Yeah.
I'd still get up and go to the gym, but now it's like I've got anchors on my feet. Do you know what I mean?
Really heavy, yeah.
It's because you just get more tired. Like
Yeah.
that's what I have noticed. I need to rest.
And I think diet as well is good for mental health. You don't realise what all this processed food is doing for us and that. So I noticed that's how I lost a lot of good weight as well, was through a good diet of cutting a load of processed, no sugar.
Yeah.
And the only sweet thing that I'd try and eat is like, every now and then is through fruit. Or obviously I'd cave and have a Monster, but a sugar-free Monster, just to get the sweet tooth sorted.
I think for your mental health, diet is number one.
Yeah. Like you say, it's that structure thing and that focus and that. Once you get some of that, you know what you've got to have, when you've got to eat. Because I was doing that intermittent fasting as well, so that was helping. I was like, no, I can't eat till then.
Well, I think sometimes when you try too hard,
yeah,
and
it can crash and burn.
I don't know if you're the same, but for 2 or 3 weeks I can be 100 mile an hour at summer,
Yeah.
and then bang,
Yeah.
it's like I'm bored.
Yeah.
I need some else.
Falling off again, yeah.
You know what I mean? It's the side of, that is ADHD. That's just typical ADHD symptoms. Like you're all or nothing. Like literally, it's like if I'm gonna do something,
Yeah.
I'll do it to the 100%. But then 4 or 5 weeks down the line, that could change.
Yeah.
Because I'm overdoing something, and that's why I think it's important that balance is key.
Yeah,
as well.
definitely.
Like a balanced life, like a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Like,
it's hard to find a way. You got to. That's why we're battling all the time.
That's
because
why
we're
we're
trial
battling.
and error,
but
trying
like,
to find that good balance.
It comes more natural to people than perhaps
us,
someone who's got ADHD. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
So like when we're sitting at home, it's like we're constantly looking to do something. It's
Yeah.
hard to just relax, and I think that's why addiction is worse for us, because we have to self-medicate in a way.
Yeah, I just smoke cannabis a lot just to help me to sleep and that all the time and that.
Yeah. I mean, my honest opinion about cannabis is like, I don't think it's as bad as alcohol.
Oh no, definitely not. I do, you know what I mean. But they'll ban cannabis, but they'll sell alcohol even though it's poisonous for your body. Yeah. Cannabis ain't poisonous for you.
No, alcohol is poisonous.
Yeah, that's like, what I mean. But obviously they'll sell poison.
The misconception of cannabis and alcohol.
Yeah.
Like to say that cannabis is like a legal drug.
But it's coming so much more what's the name everywhere now.
I think
I'm clicking onto it. It's more medical. There is some. It can affect some people's mental health. I get that, but like they don't have to have the THC bit. They
that's
can
only
have the
because
CBD.
it's grown through
Like
the black market.
Yeah.
Like
If they buy the proper, just like to get the medical cannabis, I suppose it'd be a bit better for them.
I think cannabis is medicine.
Well, it is,
in a way. Like, it helps people.
Yeah.
Like,
they're just trying to squash it so much
especially
because
with someone
they can't make loads of money out of it like they can.
Especially someone who's got like ADHD or learning difficulties
that
or
can
something
calm
like
the brain
that.
down a little bit or help them focus
Calms
and
the
things
brain
like
down.
that.
It totally calms the brain down. Like, I've had that oil, that CBD
That's
oil
it,
and stuff like that. And it's like, it's helped my mental health massively.
Yeah, because I've tried the lion's mane stuff and that's meant to be good for focus, but that don't work for me.
There's loads of, obviously, all it is loads of different people out there trying to earn money.
Yeah.
That's all it is. Like,
CBD is a good one though, yeah, like you said.
They bring all these things out and it's like all money making stuff.
I know, because then it
that's
explodes.
What all the alcohol is money making stuff in it, I think.
That's why they won't ever ban it.
That's all it is,
because they make money off you when you're buying it, and then they make money off you when you're an alcoholic and you need medication and liver transplants and things like that.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's another thing that made me start I think that was the big one actually. My dad having the liver transplant. That's the one through alcohol. That's the one that got me to try and stop it then eventually.
But how long ago was that?
It was just before Christmas. This Christmas just gone.
Do you reckon that's what made you realise a lot?
I think started to make me think more, especially when he was going in and out of the coma and that, because he wasn't doing very well at first.
Yeah.
Kept getting infections, fighting infections. So he was only meant to be in there for 6 weeks. Ended up there 6 months.
How old is your dad?
He's 60. You're asking me a question, you know, put me on the spot. he's 62 or 60. He's around, I was going to say 60 something.
That's what I mean now, but is that, would you say...
That was through being bored at home, because the bloke was worked all his life, and you know how the old school was, to get back, have a couple of beers after work, tight, bed, and he'd be like that, grafting and drinking just a few beers every night, but then once he'd stopped working, and his body just basically started to rot, and he was just drinking on the sly then. He knew it was a problem when he's going to the shed to have a little swig of whiskey and that, and then come back in the house and things like that.
What was he hiding?
He's hiding it, yeah.
Hiding it.
Started hiding it, but obviously some family didn't help really the situation. And but obviously then he's had this transplant now, and I think that's a bit of an eye opener.
Is he all right now, like?
Yeah, he's getting there now. He had to get to that little rehab to learn to walk and that again and that now, but he's at home now finally. But at the same time he's bored.
Yeah. Would you say that's all through alcohol, that abuse?
Yeah, and through like just, you know, I don't know if my dad's the same, like, because he's a don't talk about things though. I've never been able to speak to my dad.
A lot of it's hereditary, innit?
Yeah.
Like,
because he can't read all right, that's why he become a plasterer. And obviously, like, he couldn't do much for himself. Like, his wife's always had to make sure I'd done everything for him. Yeah. He was just out there, just grafting, and that's all he did. But then obviously drinking, and then coming back and having nothing to do after how many years of that, and he just starts carrying on drinking because he's just bored at home.
I think that's
no structure, no nothing again.
I think that's what it is. Half the time he's being bored, isn't he?
Yeah.
But do you reckon that's made you realise that you don't want to be like that?
Yeah, exactly. I don't want to. Like, my partner sometimes joke about it. You need to go and get your liver tested, and I'm like, my liver's sad.
Yeah, but that's probably what's made you realise that, like, I don't want to be like that.
Yeah, definitely not. I don't have to go through what my dad's gone through and that, because look at like. It's like he's a proper frail man now, like he's like my dad used to be, like the man sort of thing, but now he's just like, he looks a bit like a frail man. And I just sort of don't end up like that. You don't end up like, that's what drink does though, innit? So sometimes it destroys you. I've seen it from all ends. It basically killed my mum in a way as well, because she had like things, she was meant to be on vitamins and that, and she started with a drink again, because she had a gastric band thing, or the stomach cut away to lose her weight, and be on medication for the rest of her life, but then when I was drinking, the medication wasn't working, so she had like total organ failure and that. But that's Did you used to drink when you was at school? No, this is what I mean. I was never a drinker when I was younger. I was more of a weed smoker and that, and then I was popping pills as I was growing up and that. But I was never a drinker unless I was going to do other drugs like. So how old was you when you first started like going out drinking and that though? It was like when I went to my mum's really, and then turned 16. And you used to go out like down the park and that. I'd done it once or twice, a few times, but because I was sick, I don't like being sick. So you was never a drinker when you was younger? Not really, like I said, I'm more of a smoking. That's mad though, isn't it really, like say, because when I was young, I used to drink, I never used to touch anything else, because
like when you're at school, like you're told.
Some people look down on it. Yeah,
drugs,
different. It's your groups, like I said, who you hang around with, ain't it?
But I was told when I was young, it's like you don't touch weed, don't touch this, don't touch alcohol's legal.
Yeah.
Oh, it's all right to do then.
As soon as you're 18, but obviously kids don't like to wait till then. They like to get on it straight.
But it's like because alcohol's legal, it makes people think that this is all right to do then.
Yeah.
I'll do this every night.
Yeah.
I can easily get 2 bottles of wine every night, sit at home and watch the TV. I'm all right though, because it's legal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But what people don't realise is, just because it's legal, it's the worst drug out there.
Yeah, I agree 100%. I think it is.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I think it's worse than... Coming off alcohol is worse than coming off cocaine or cannabis or...
Yeah, anything. Because
some people
just crash down. They can die from it if they stop drinking straight away.
Like when I used to go to AA, I've seen people die from alcohol withdrawal symptoms and stuff like that.
They're really bad apparently. Really bad.
This is what I don't get, like how can it be legal?
Yeah. Because it's all to do with money. That's all it is.
How can it, like,
make money when you're buying it, money when you're in that rehab.
I'll get that it can make you feel better.
But it just masks it, don't it?
My perspective is now with alcohol is, alcohol's only good if you're in a good place.
Yeah.
Like if you're happy.
It's that frame of mind you mean at that time.
If you're in a good frame of mind, and like, which is a lot of people out there in a good frame of mind and never gone through what we've gone through.
Yeah.
You can enjoy yourself. You can have a good night. But unfortunately, when you've had an addiction and an alcohol problem, it's like we know where it's going to end.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
All the time. It only takes one thing.
We already know in our heads where this alcohol intake is going to take us. 3 days down the line, we're still flat out. You know what I mean? That's another reason why I try and stay away from alcohol.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're the same.
Yeah, alcohol's the key to everything. Like for me, like that's what leads to everything else. Because I don't sniff without alcohol, so I've never done cocaine straight. I'm always, if I have some alcohol, that's it. I'm having the cocaine. Because it must be the other one I'm really loving, that cocoethanol or whatever it turns into your body or whatever it is.
That's what people don't realise is that if they are 9 times out of 10, your bad habits will come from alcohol.
Yeah. I always believe that.
It is the number 1 route to all the other habits that come along with it. Do you know what I mean?
Because it lowers your inhibitions, whatever, I don't know how you want to say. It lowers it.
But it makes you feel good, doesn't it, at the time? Like, you become a bit invincible, don't you?
That's it,
It's like, you know yourself, you can finish work at 4 or 5 o'clock at night. And if you get stuck in that habit of doing it, come 4 or 5 o'clock at night, your body's alerted then to do it.
Yeah.
And then you'll be driving home and it's like you're in autopilot.
That's exactly it. I've done that before. You don't even realise that you're drinking vodka, driving back home, and you're like, what? How's this happened?
It's like, how's it happening again? It's like you go into autopilot. It's like you finish work, you get them anxiety feelings in your stomach, them butterflies. Do you know what I mean? Do you get that?
Because I know what I'm going to do. It's mad. And I'd say, no, I'm not going to do it today. I'm not going to do it today.
You keep like talking to...
when you're in autopilot, it just happens.
But another thing that I've learnt is, like, you know, and you just said, you keep saying to yourself, I'm not going to do this.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do this. So you know what I started doing? I'm going to do this, but in a good way. Like, I'm going to go to the gym.
That's that positive reinforcement thinking instead. That is a good thing. I think that's
the worst thing that you can do is beat yourself up all day,
yeah,
knowing that subconsciously you're still going to do it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because if you keep telling yourself something all day, I'm not going to do this, I'll guarantee at the end of the day, you am going to do it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's good if you can, like, reflect it on in a positive way.
Yeah, I get that.
You have to like...
I forget about things like that.
What you have to do is replace another habit
with a better habit, a positive habit.
Because just because you're taking the drink and the drugs away, it's like you're still going to be looking for something else. So if you don't replace it, I'll guarantee within a week you'll be back on it.
Yeah.
And that's what
it is. It's hard, vicious circle.
It's a vicious circle, and that's why it's important that like you say, going to the gym is good.
Yeah.
But tell me, what are you doing now for work and stuff?
Still grafting. Obviously, I had a couple of weeks off with my back and things like that, but just like loads better at work now. Obviously, started saving for because I want to start doing property development and that.
Yeah.
So I've started getting. It's about as well building a better reputation with people now. Like now that I'm doing better, being more reliable. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so it's helping me get more work. It's helping me stay in work. It's getting people noticing me that probably wouldn't notice me before if I was so reliable now.
Yeah.
So it does affect your work as you're growing up, don't it?
Yeah,
like
of course
growing
it does.
up, as you're drinking and that.
Of course it does, because when you wake up in the morning and you don't go to work, you are just letting yourself down, you're letting
other people down as well, yeah.
Because I've been in the same situations before where you got a job to do, but because of your actions the night before, you struggle to...
You either don't turn in or you lie to them, tell them an excuse. Like, cause obviously mine would be a customer, wouldn't it? And I was like, oh, car's broke down, or so-and-so. How many times I told somebody my nan's dead, right? It's all we to say, but you know what I mean?
We're laughing about it now, but it's a bad thing to laugh about, but that's how it takes you, innit? Yeah. I think...
It's just becoming a lawyer as well, yeah. It's an horrible place.
It's horrible, innit?
Yeah, and that's why I think you do lose people, and now that you're in a better place, and like you said, you do need that little people, a mate, someone going, you're doing well.
Yeah, the right
people. Because that is nice that like when people have noticed that I am grafting hard, that I am reliable now. Yeah. If I want to get somebody who's on my side now who wants to like do something together with work, like, so hopefully I've got some things in the pipeline.
Would you say your reputation with people is better now since you've got a clearer mind? Yeah,
yeah. People look at you, you know what? People look out for you more. You know what I mean? Because obviously when things happen, even people I didn't realise, like someone from work on the site that I've been working on for the past how many months. Yeah. I only know him through work. He's the foreman. Yeah. But he was like really concerned with me, asking how I was and that, like, and things like that, like, because obviously I was off with my back and that, and obviously he'd heard about me, like, my old mate and that, my work mate.
Do you reckon you'd have had that response if you was letting him down every week?
Probably not. Yeah, you know what I mean. Yeah, exactly. You know, yeah, you're probably right.
It's like a respectful thing, isn't it? Like,
yeah. Because I was opening up on site and closing the site and that things like that'll be first on, last to leave.
People take note of that though, don't they?
You don't think, you realise sometimes at the time though, do you? You're just there on your own, going, what am I doing? I'm an idiot, it's still here. Everyone else is a dumb.
I think, you know, when you don't go into work and like you're last in, first out, people pick up on that, like, and...
Really quick, that
really
one.
Fast. Yeah, really fast.
That's the first one to pick up. They get in again, he's gone already.
But then again, that ain't your fault or anybody else's fault. That's your addiction's fault.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
It is, yeah. You've got to stop blaming yourself, because we always beat ourselves up.
Yeah, that's what I mean. We always beat ourselves up because of what we've done through our actions of taking drugs or drinking. You know what I mean? And then I think that's the hardest part, is like how it controls the person that you become. Yeah. Like you say, if you're at work first thing on the morning and you're out last, you feeding yourself full of positivity, because that's a good thing. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Because you're proud of yourself.
You are proud of yourself, not yourself, for a good day in.
You're proud of yourself. There's nothing better than doing a good day, earning a bit of dough, getting home and like, man, I've smashed it today. Yeah. But you know what? You know, when them days keep doing it and like keep reoccurring, that's when growth comes. Yeah. You know what I mean? And you know that. Yeah. Like, you know, when you keep sniffing, drinking, and you keep doing the same thing week in, week out, it beats you up.
Yeah. It does mentally, like you say, mentally as well, beats you down, and then where you're going to go, you're just going to keep getting lower and lower and lower.
Yeah, it's bad. But where are you going to hold in September then?
Tenerife.
Tenerife. So that's going to give you the focus, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, that's what I mean. That's like a goal.
Hard at it again in the gym as well, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That's what
you do need. I've noticed that as well, setting little goals instead of trying to set the big ones. Because that's all I do. I mess myself up trying to do the big goals, do them in small little goals.
Because we always want success straight away. Yeah. It's like we always want the best straight away, but what people don't realise is to get to that point in life, there's a lot of ups, downs, twists, turns. There's loads.
It's a big road, like you say, with loads of different things coming off, loads of different turnings. If you had to take the wrong one, you might be coming back down the road then instead of going up.
Yeah, it's a bit like snakes and ladders, eh? Yeah. Do you know what I mean? I think life's a bit like snakes and ladders, I do. Like, 1 minute you're up halfway up a ladder, and then just because of that one bad choice, you're down like just half a ladder, you're a ladder and a half down. Do you know what I mean?
You won't have to get that far.
And then it's like, oh, have I really got the energy to get back up to where I was?
I've been like that. That's when you're getting really low, ain't it? And you think, what am I here for? Stop the world, I just want to get off.
That it is. It's like, there's only so many times you can keep going up and down that ladder to the point where you're at breaking point and you're just like, fuck this, I'll throw the towel in. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
It does get them days, they do get dark sometimes.
The dark days sometimes are the biggest lessons because...
More reflection.
There's nothing more beautiful. I'm not saying it's beautiful to get to rock bottom.
Yeah, but then coming back.
But you know, coming up.
Yeah.
You know, that steady, gradual, getting yourself back into a good place. It's beautiful. Like, it's emotional. It's like...
The growth is good, yeah.
Yeah, because when you've been drinking and using for so long, I think it makes you numb.
Yeah. You become a bit of a horrible person, yeah.
No, it makes you emotionally numb.
Yeah.
Like, to the point where you don't care about nothing. Like, you don't care if you've crashed your car.
Yeah.
You don't care if you've lost all your money. Because you know you've been there before, you don't care.
Yeah.
So I think your emotions to life get totally numb. Am I right?
Yeah, I think I'm right. And that's why you carry on drinking, to keep like that, keep numbing it all.
That's all it is, it's numbing. You numb yourself, innit? It's like, what else do I do now to make myself feel better? Who do I speak to make myself feel better?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, you're lost, innit? You get lost.
Yeah.
You get lost in the vicious circle and you just keep repeating it round and round and round. And it's like, what do I do here? But it's been great speaking to you, John.
And you?
Really enjoyed it, mate. But,
to be fair, it's good actually, you know, sometimes you just chat. I do like it, I've enjoyed it.
It's nice to have a chat and like anybody else that's watching this video, if you'd like to message me and you could sit where John is, we could have a chat and get things off your chest, and it's great for mental health. Like this is what people need to do. Like the more you speak out, the better.
Definitely, I'd suggest definitely 100%. Get off the drink first. 100% get off that. Get off the drug, like the powder, if obviously those two, and just start to then give it 2 weeks, at least 2 weeks, and I reckon.
You got at the end of the day, you got to give yourself a chance.
Yeah, for that brain, the chemicals in your brain and everything to get back to normal and that. And then if you're still feeling bad, seek help straight away. Talk. Find someone to talk to.
I'm going to tag you in this video. And if anybody that's watching the video and is struggling, you can reach out to me or John. And that's it.
Yeah, I don't mind having if you want so much to talk,
Yeah, we're always going to be there for everybody, so...
Yeah, and I won't judge. We've got no judgment here at all.
Yeah, our inbox is always going to be open, so cheers, thank you.